One of the great myths that our society perpetuates is that if anyone is super rich, they must be a super genius. And this is not true. And there's a few reasons why this is not true, that when you start to peer in the dynamics of the correlation between wealth and talent, the whole idea breaks down and luck plays a much bigger role than we are told. So the first thing to understand is that some human traits are normally distributed, they have a bell curve to them, and some are not normally distributed. So for example, if you think about height is going to be clustered around a relatively narrow band. You're not going to find a human that's 1 foot tall, and you're not going to find a human that's 200 feet tall, right? And as a result of this, you have a sort of normal distribution around a relative average. But wealth is not like this. Wealth is distributed on what has a long tail. It has this really long distribution at the top, and then a lot of people clustered towards the bottom. So there's a large number of people who have sort of average incomes, and then a few people who might be 100 or 1,000 or even 1,000,000 times richer than somebody else on the planet. And this creates a mismatch, because in order to produce that long tail, you need to have some serious luck. Now, my favorite study that shows this was a collaboration between some physicists and an economist. And they developed what is basically a sort of fake world with some crude relationships between wealth and talent. Talent is normally distributed. You have people who are clustered around a sort of normal area, the average of human society, and then you have a small number of people who are really talented and a small number of people who are really not so talented. But nobody in the world is like 1,000,000,000 times more talented than somebody else. And what this means is that when luck is introduced into the equation, when you have these sort of lightning strikes that we can think of with luck, they're going to hit in the place that has the most people. Because if you imagine a sort of bell curve where most people are in the talent spectrum, the idea that the lightning is going to strike the one person who's the most talented in the world or the one person who's the least talented in the world, it's just highly improbable. So instead what's going to happen is the lightning is going to hit someone around the middle value of talent. Now when that happens, it's going to increase the chance that they become wealthy. If they get struck by lightning twice, the odds of them becoming extremely wealthy increase, right? So what ends up happening in these simulations they run is that over and over, the richest person in their fake world is not somebody of extreme talent. It's somebody who's marginally above average on talent who happens to get lucky.